How often do you hear real estate professionals concerned about their ability to continue to operate, meaning to continue to do business the same way that they have been, whether that be the expenses that they're paying for or it be the investments they're making? And the reason why is there's three key financial management aspects to any business, not just real estate, which is one, the ability to continue to operate your business, meaning that you're not continuing to have to change things on a regular basis, your model specifically in real estate. The other one is its capacity to grow in profitability, meaning as you do more, can you also do more remaining profitable? And then lastly, it's disposition to be sold, meaning could you actually sell a business? Now, as you start looking at large teams, many of them are structured in a way to be able to do this, but for your individual business, let's cover some basics on the three areas of financial management that are critical. One, expense management, having a clear understanding of all of your expenses on a monthly basis and be able to commit to those expenses both for about 120 days, 6 months, or to a year, upwards to 18 months. What I mean by that, remember, is some of these expenses that you're spending for lead management, which let's also break these down as you can see in the graph provided, is Tom Ferry would say, what if we looked at about 10% of our total expenses being lead generation? Now, I know for some teams, it's much greater. For some individuals, it's much greater, especially when you look at the overall referral fee from a lot of these companies being upwards to 35% for that specific lead. So you can see where that struggle is on that 35% referral fee lead generation. We need to go out and find our own leads that will allow us to experience most likely upwards to about a 10% cost or expense to generate that lead source. Now, as you start looking at outside of expenses is our operating account. So as you earn income, Tom Ferry would say most individual businesses require about 30% to be put back into the expense management and or investment to grow your business. So if you get a $10,000 paycheck, you're really getting a $7,000 paycheck that then you're going to most likely have to pay taxes on as well. But that 30% is going back in the company to run, remember, that business that will continue to be able to operate. How do you know that it will be continue to operate? Is the goal is when you start having your monthly expense is to have 4 to 6 months, upwards to 6 months of your expenses in an operating account. So in that way, any given month when things don't go the way you want, you don't have to necessarily change your model, because we know with the right work and the right skill sets in any given 120 days, we can go out and produce income if we're focused on bottom of funnel activities. So the key in financial management is making sure you can continue to operate. Looking at our overall profit margin, we want to be over 70%. And we'll talk about where all of your expenses align. And for coaching clients, they understand the overall goal is to continue to invest both in your education, but also in your lead generation and operations to make your job a little bit easier. So then that way you can go out and focus on what you're doing best, which is most likely some aspect of sales, marketing, and or client negotiations.